For some reason, I think Hieronymous is taking me back to Ravane Cottage, but instead we end up in an ornately decorated room. It reminded me of my suite at Miss Minchin's, but the four-poster bed was at least as big as the one we shared at Ravane Cottage, if not bigger. "Where are we?" I ask him. "Still in the castle?" "These are our accommodations for the night," Hieronymous says simply. "As I'm sure you've already gathered, Ravane Cottage is too far away for us to teleport to easily. Many choose to stay the night, as these lands are quite a distance away from most habitable dwellings." I'm about to say something more before I suddenly double over in pain as I clutch at my wrist. Fuck! I think I broke my hand. "Let me see." Hieronymous takes my hand in both of his as he kisses my fingertips, using green magic to heal whatever damage had been done when I had decked Tobin across the face. He takes a step closer to me, standing directly in front of me, and I can't help but sigh as I lean into him, pressing my forehead into his shoulder. "What happened out there, Tori?" "He tried to kiss me," I tell him honestly. "I didn't lead him on. We had a food fight in the cafeteria to make me feel better, and then we went outside to catch fireflies. Then he had me chase him through the maze, but he disappeared on me. When I told him I was going inside, he jumped me and pushed me against the wall. I kicked him in the crotch and he fell over, and then you showed up." "Did he hurt you?" Hieronymous asks, smoothing down my hair and placing his hands on my shoulders, as if inspecting me for damage. "Not too badly," I reply. "I mean, I'm freaked out, but I'm okay." "Why were you upset?" Hieronymous asks, and I'm almost surprised by how much I'm dreading the question. It feels like my stomach has suddenly done a backflip and it was now sitting in my abdomen upside down. "Because I left you?" I can't help but scowl as I take a step away from him, crossing my arms protectively over my chest. "Bej told me what goes on in the back room," I tell him, trying to keep my voice even. Hieronymous looks confused for a moment before something seems to click and he lets out a small laugh. "And you think that I would do anything? We have our vows, Tori, and besides, when have I ever given you any indication I would ever want to be with anyone but you?" "You haven't," I admit, "but apparently I'm just as jealous as you can be. I meant what I said before, Hieronymous. I'm not attracted to anyone but you. I never have been, and I don't intend on starting now. Honestly, from the minute you took my hand tonight, I've been waiting to kiss you." "You mean like this?" Hieronymous asks. His fingers tangle in the back of my hair as he leans forward and kisses me, and I can't help but lean forward as I melt into his touch. "Is that what you were looking forward to?" "Mm-hmm," I murmur weakly as I rub noses with him. "You know, we don't have to do anything if you're still uncomfortable with what happened earlier," Hieronymous says softly, but I just shake my head. "Oh, please," I say as I roll my eyes. "Like there's even half a chance you're going to be able to keep your hands off me tonight." "It's true," Hieronymous muses with good humor in his voice. "I watched you dance with Bej for a bit after I arrived. You were all anyone was talking about." "But why, though?" I ask him as I draw away slightly. "Why is everyone so interested in me?" "Because you're like nothing they've ever seen before," he replies automatically. "You know how conservative they are, and with your blue hair, Tori, you do stand out. You are also American, and I can honestly say that many of these people don't know a thing about America aside from what they hear on the news." "So they basically think I come from the Savage Lands, then," I say, and Hieronymous laughs. "You're also married to me," he reminds me. "Combine the rumors about my past and the rumors of how we got married, and it makes an interesting story. Factor in our age difference and the fact that you seem to glow whenever you look at me, and it does bring up the question about why a young, beautiful girl with a buoyant demeanor and a bright future would remain with someone like me." "Someone like you," I scoff at him. "Please, I'm just a teenage girl who was raised as a wild seed with no noble blood in me. You're heir to the Grabiner name, And besides that, you are incredibly smart and insanely attractive. You're fun to be around, and you've been so patient and thoughtful lately. Sometimes I'm honestly scared I'm going to wake up one day and this is all going to have been just one really long good dream. Not a dream, Hieronymous says as he kisses the tip of my nose. But I'm just saying, Tori, there are some who think that, despite your origins, you could do better than me. Better? I echo as I pull away from him. What have you heard? Nothing beyond rumors, he says, although he seems to grow wary as he sees my reaction. Why? What have you heard? Nothing beyond rumors, I echo. Hieronymous regards me suspiciously, but I can't tell him about my conversation with Bej's mother, especially not now. Although you were pretty quick to think that Aloysius wanted Tobin to try to break us up. Did something else happen? I thought your father liked me. He likes anything that suits his own motives, Hieronymous tells me bluntly. I know you and my father were on good terms when you spoke last, but he does not have your best interests at heart, Tori. Right now, you are a novelty to others, but all novelties, eventually, lose their luster. Others are curious about you now, but that will fade with time, and when it does... I wait for him to continue, but Hieronymous just shakes his head and steps away from me. But I'm not good enough for him. I think I get what you're saying. Right now, when people ask him about me, it makes him feel big and important, but eventually, people will get used to us being together and all the gossip about our relationship will be yesterday's news. I don't come from any strong magical lineage. I don't really have anything to offer you. Other people, well, once they're not interested in me anymore, will probably just move on. If that's the case, Aloysius would want you to marry someone from another noble family so you can take over their lands and increase the worth of the Grabiner name. Am I right? You are, as usual, correct, Hieronymous sighs. Is this the part where I need to remind you that I would be utterly useless without you? Nope, I say as I smile up at him. I love you. You love me. Maybe last year I would have questioned it, but not now. I shake my head. We've been talking for far too long. Can you just be kissing me now? I've been waiting to do that all night, Hieronymous replies as he takes my face in his hands and kisses me deeply, and it's a kiss that I'm all too happy to return. Hieronymous may have been older and taciturn and admittedly grumpy at times, but he was my husband, and there was absolutely no one else I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. After all, I had never wanted to be a viscountess, and I didn't want to be a princess. I just wanted to be Hieronymus's wife, and as long as I could fall asleep beside him every night, I was happy.